everything that you watch on your iPads and on your iPhones and on your Android and on your computers and on your, everything is recorded. This is the digital world, fi kitabin marqum. This is a digital book that will be, when we are resurrected, it's a digital book. And you will see your entire life. Your movie of your life will be played on the day of judgment. And everyone will watch it. The movie of our lives. And everything that we watch will be watched by everybody. There's nothing secret on that day. May Allah protect us from that. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His mercy, give us this beautiful religion. A religion that at the head of it is the best of His creation, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And give us guidance, give us a book. Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. A book that is a book of guidance, but in it there's no doubt. Because doubt is the game of shaitan. The first thing that he does is he puts doubts in the hearts. That's shaitan. But if you look at our generation, you can see that within one generation, from the time we were kids and we were young people, shabab, to the time our children are young people, within one generation, things have changed so much in terms of sinfulness. People used to go search for places to sin. People used to go in search of activities of sinfulness. And now, within a generation, you don't have to go to a place to sin. You don't have to find an activity. It's all there. Wherever you are, sinfulness accompanies you. And this is one of the sad times for in the human history, and one of the most challenging times in the human history, especially for the young people. Shaitan, one of his games is that how he enters your heart. He just wants to control the human heart. The battle is for the human heart. And he's trying to find inroads. So his inroads have become very easy to enter the heart. There are three main inroads that if you're really young people, especially, if you protect yourself, you will really be prosperous. And you will really be men and women of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these three are really the primary inroads to the human heart. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam reminded us in the hadith that there's a piece of flesh in your body that if it's good, the entire body is good. And if it's rotten and evil, then the entire body is rotten. And isn't that the heart? So this battle continues until the day of judgment. And this battle continues for us until the day we die. So the first one, the inroad, is the ears. Everything that we listen to, every word that we listen to, every song that we listen to, every conversation that we listen to, they're all recorded in this tablet. It's the eternal tablet of human deeds. All of them are recorded, and everything will be played back on the day of judgment. The ears are not ours. Inna السمع والبصر والفؤاد كل أولئك كان عنه مسؤولا. Your ears, right? Your sight and your heart, you are responsible for these. Responsibility for those. Why you're responsible for these things? If it's yours, you can do whatever you want with them, but they're not yours. The ears are not yours. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given you the ears as an amana, as a trust for you. If it was yours, why would they testify against you on the day of judgment? Your hands will testify against you. Your ears will testify against you. And they will say, I didn't want to listen to this music. I didn't want to listen to this foul language. But he made me listen. She made me listen. These are laws. And we have to protect this amana. You have to be careful with the games of shaitan. You have to be careful. Imam Fakhruddin al-Razi, the great theologian who died in year 606 and buried in the blessed city of Herat in Afghanistan, he said something incredible. This is 800 years ago. This is 800 years ago. What did he say? He said, Shaitan will inspire people to write poetry that has foul language. And then he will inspire musicians to make these into lyrics, into music. And then he will inspire young people to listen and memorize and repeat these foul words in music. This was unheard of. This was unheard of in history, to have music with foul language. And yes, Shaitan can inspire, because all your thoughts come from 4 sources. There's not a 5th source. It's called khawatir. Your khatir nafsani, malakani, shaitani, rahmani. That's all your thoughts. Just to know where your thoughts come from. It's either from Allah, from the angels, from Satan, or from your own nafs. That's all the inspiration. So Shaitan can inspire people to write foul things, to write evil things, to do evil things. This is the end road. And the first thing in the womb that starts working from these faculties is your ears. You can hear, but you can't see even when you're born. It takes a moment. Things are fuzzy when you open your eyes, but hearing is intact even in the womb. Allah is telling us, protect your ears. Protect your ears from listening. And this is one of people ask, why is Yawm al-Qiyamah, Day of Judgment, 50,000 years? Why is Yawm al-Qiyamah 100,000 years? Because you're going to be listening to everything you listen to, and everybody else wants to listen. There's also, what did he listen to? What was it on his ears, on his AirPods? What was he listening to? And it will be played in front of everyone that knows you, your teachers, your friends, your neighbors, your parents, your grandparents. This is what you were listening to? The second thing that he said, the inroad, is the tongue. The ears are like recording devices. That everything that you listen to, it becomes a folder, it goes into your heart. The tongue is like a microphone. Whatever you say, it echoes out and it gets recorded and it goes into your heart. And if those files have viruses, at one point it crashes your heart. And just like a computer that dies, the human heart dies. Even though you're alive physically, but you're dead spiritually. So you have to be careful. The tongue is one of this is the muscle that the human being moves the most. We speak 4,000, in some statistics, 4,000 words a day. People speak all the time. They say things, but every word that you say, من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فليقل خيرا أو ليصمت. Whoever believes in Allah in the last day, they say that which is beautiful, or they keep in silence. Say that which is beautiful. Words are like, it could be like a thorn into a heart. It could be like a thorn into a heart, or it could be an ointment of healing. Ointment of healing. Maulana Rumi said about the tongue, he said, in zaban chun sangu ham ahan wash است آنچه بگذشت از زبان چون آتش است. This tongue of yours is like a stone and a steel, and when you hit the stone and the steel together, what comes out of it is fire. What comes out of it is fire. سنگ و آتش را مزن بر هم گزاف گه ز روی نقل و گه از روی لاف. Don't hit the stone and the steel together just for the sake of doing it. Sometimes you're saying qila wa qala. Oh, see, he said this, she said that. And sometimes you're bluffing about how great you are. These are the two conversations of human being. These are the two conversations of human being that is wasteful. That is wasteful. Complete waste of time. She said, she said. He said, she said. Or, I'm amazing. I'm great. My children are amazing. Just bluffing about yourself. He said, don't do that. He said, this is an incredible line in the Masnavi. And a lot of people who are in marriage counseling, they know that most marriages falls because of this. He said, Zonke tarik ast o har su pombazar dar miyane pomba chun bashad chara. Life is like being in a cotton field. This is your life. Your marriage life is like having, a beautiful bed that's made from cotton. It's fluffy, it's nice, it's comfortable. He said, my friend, life is like living in a cotton field. It's dark out there. It is dark out there, and you're surrounded by cotton. How could a wise man start a fire in the middle of a cotton field? How could you start a fire in the middle? You will burn everything that you have. You will lose everything that you have. Control your tongue. Control the tongue, because the tongue is the Prophet ﷺ took out his tongue and he showed his Sahaba and he went like this. He said, give me the control of that. Allah is going to give us paradise. Just simply controlling your tongue will give you the opportunity to be a person of paradise. The last one that is really the most important in our time is the eyes, the inroad of the eyes. The eyes are like scanners. One of the great things about this religion, and when I first started practicing, I had eye problem, just looking at everything. This is what a lot of young people they have. They have eye problem. They keep looking at things that are haram. They can't stop. So the first look, you don't get a sin for it, because you get all this stuff passed by. You pass on your feet, things come up, and on the billboards, and if you just turn away, you don't get a sin for it. But it's continuous looking, or you look again. That's sinful. So control your eyes, because the eyes are scanners, and they will scan everything, and they will become folders. Everything that you watch on your iPads and on your iPhones and on your Android and on your computers and everything is recorded. Everything is recorded. This is the digital word, fi kitabin marqum. This is a digital book that will be, when we are resurrected, it's a digital book. And you will see your entire life. Your movie of your life will be played on the day of judgment. And everyone will watch it. The movie of our lives. And everything that we watch will be watched by everybody. There's nothing secret on that day. May Allah protect us from that people see what we see. Protect your eyes, because the eyes are made to see the signs of Allah. There's all these atheists, they say, oh, I don't see any signs of God. Where is God? You know what Chishti rahmatullah alayhi, they ask him the same question. Where is God? We don't see. And he said, Imam Chishti rahmatullah alayhi said, Baharchi mi nigaram juz khuda nami binam. And everything I look, I see nothing other than the hand of the providence. I see the signs of God everywhere. Sanurihim ayatina fil afaqi wa fi anfusihim hatta yatabayyana lahum annahu al-haq. We will manifest our signs on the horizon and in yourself, until it becomes true to you. You will come to that conclusion: God is real, Allah is real. And all of everything in the creation is a detour sign to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't turn away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everywhere you look, you will turn into Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everywhere you look. Allah is telling us, don't use these eyes to see foul things. If you purify your eyes, then you would see the manifestation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the creation. And there's two ways Allah manifests himself. One through Jamal, and the other through Jalal. It's either through beauty or through majesty to see it. Allah reminds us, فَلْيَنْظُرُ الْإِنسَانِ إِلَى تَعَامِي أَنَّا صَبَبْنَا الْمَاءَ صَبًّا ثُمَّ شَقَقْنَا الْأَرْضَ شَقًّا فَأَنْبَتْنَا فِيهَا حَبًّا وَعِنَبًا وَقَضْبًا وَزَيْتُونًا وَنَخْلًا وَحَدَائِقَ غُلْبًا وَفَاكِهَةً وَأَبًّا مَتَاعًا لَكُمْ وَلِأَنْعَامِكُمْ. Let man look at his food. Just look at your food. When was the last time we reflected on our food? Let man look at his food. Who do you think sends the water from the heaven for that food to grow? It is Allah that's doing that. Who's expanding the earth inside so there's room for the seed to grow? He splits the earth for the seed to grow. And then what happens? It gives life to that seed, and it starts growing. And then you have zaytun, and you have inab, and you have grapes, and you have foliage, and you have olive tree, and you have palms, and you have grass, and all of these. What are these for? Food for you, O my servant, and for your camels. And for your camels. And we never reflect. People don't even say Bismillah when they eat. They don't even say a dua at the end of their prayers. And all of this goes in order for you to have a morsel of food and not be in a state of ghifla. Allah could have done that, just pops up, everything just pops up. He could have done that, but no, all of cosmos has to go into a shift in order for us to have a morsel of food. And all this Allah is asking, have you even looked at your food with these eyes? Where it comes from, how it comes to your table, how it goes inside of you, and it gives you the energy. And then, what do you do with that energy? With all of that cosmic shift, everything that goes through, you eat that food and then you disobey Him? Is that what we are here for? To disobey Allah by eating the food that the heavens and earth, they have to go through cosmic shift in order for it to come to the table. Is that what we're going to do? This is the state of the human being. And no, inna shaytana lakum aduun fattakhiduhu aduwa. Shaitan is your enemy. Allah is reminding us, take him as an enemy. Don't take him as a friend. He would never be your friend. Shaitan never be your friend. He is your enemy. Take him as an enemy. Take him as an enemy. But here is what separates this deen from everything else. And this is why if you do 2 units of shukr every day, just to being a Muslim, it's not enough. Just Alhamdulillah ala ni'mat al-Islam. Alhamdulillah for just the blessing of this religion. No matter where you're at on this journey of life, everybody's somewhere on the train of life. Everybody's somewhere. No matter where you're at, you can't have despair. You can't be hopeless. Hopelessness is the greatest sin. Because when you're hopeless, you're saying that Allah can't do that. That's what you're saying. Allah can't do that. Allah, fa'alun lima yurid. Allah said, I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. He can do whatever you want. He can make directions. He can get you out. There's always an exit strategy for you by Allah. There's always an exit strategy. You don't see it because you don't have the eyes. Your eyes are busy looking at the world. You're looking at the world of asbab. Allah can give without any asbab. Allah can give you exit strategy at any time. So the doors of Tawbah is open. Allahu Akbar. Until when? Until the last breath. وهو الذي يقبل التوبة عن عباده ويعفو عن السيئات ويعلم ما تفعلون. And it is Allah who accepts your tawbah. Look at this beautiful verse of the Quran. All of the verses are beautiful. Allah is the one who accepts your tawbah. And He's the one who forgives your sin. And He knows what you're doing. He knows what you're doing. He knows the act. It's not that Allah doesn't see your act of sinfulness. And yet, He forgives you. He accepts your turning. Tawbah means to turn. Turn towards the one, at-Tawwab. Khaja Abdullah al-Ansari, the great sage of the 5th century, said something really beautiful in his tafsir, Kashf al-Asrar. He said something incredible. He said, Tawbah means to turn. But do you know who you're turning towards? At-Tawwab. He said, when you turn with a smile. Turn with a smile. You're turning towards the Lord that is accepting your tawbah. And He said, what a shame to turn your back towards your Lord again. What a shame to break that tawbah and turn your back. But Allah will accept you even if you do that. And Allah will accept you even if you do that. The doors of tawbah is open, and it makes any sinner into a saint. Any sinner can turn into a saint in this religion. In an instant, you can inhale the breath of sin and you can exhale the breath of saintliness. This is the power of this religion. And Fudayl ibn Iyad was one of the brigands. He was a brigand, and he actually Qutaw Tariq in fiqh. You have the thieves, and then you have the highway robbers. There's 2 different rulings for them. The highway robbers, they have severe punishment because the security of the city, they will mess with the security of the city. As for the robbers, they mess with the security of individuals or a family. He was a highway robber, and nobody could stop him from Sham to Iraq or to Persia. It was just known. And there was a man who was traveling, and they said, don't travel. He's a businessman. He said, don't travel this route because this is the route of Fudayl ibn Iyad. He's going to rob you blind. And you're a merchant. You have a lot of stuff. And he said, They said, if you're going to hire a lot of security guards, he said, I'm not going to hire security guards. I'm going to hire a Quran reciter, a hafiz. And I'm going to let him read the Quran from here just continuously when we travel. So he started the Quran reciter on the camel and led the way. And all his camels with his gold and silver. And they went. And Fudail and his gang were ready to ambush this caravan. They were behind this hill and they were waiting. And as they got close, this Qari was reading the Quran and he got to this verse, أَلَمْ يَأْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. Isn't it time? One of the things that Ansari said on this story in his tafsir, he said, Fudail said, I heard God talking to me. I thought this was just for me. Just for me. And these words pierced through this dark heart and illuminated me. And he said, isn't it time for the believers to humble their hearts and start remembering their Lord? How long will you do this? And Fudail, he said, I shouted in my heart, oh Fudail, how long will you do this? When will you stop? And he made his tawbah. And he turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he became an imam in Mecca. And he became a person with thousands and thousands. And we remember him now. We remember Fudail now. Over 1,000 years ago. A highway robber. But he changed his life. He made tawbah. He turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that tawbah is so powerful that it instantly makes you Habibullah. It makes you a Habib. Inna Allah yuhibbu al-tawwabin wa yuhibbu al-mutatahhirin. Allah loves those who make tawbah and those who purify themselves. Purification is the outward form of cleanliness, and it purifies you when you do wudu and do ghusl. But tawbah is illumination of the heart. Tawbah is washing your heart, washing your soul internally and illuminating yourself. And this is the path of our religion. This is the deen of Islam, a deen of beauty, a deen of ihsan, a deen of hope. And may Allah give us tawfiq that we control our eyes, that we look at that which is beautiful and not ugly. May Allah give us the ability to protect our ears from anything that is sinful that would enter our ears. And may Allah give us the ability to control our tongues and say that which is beautiful and not no words of ugliness come out from our tongue, inshallah. And may Allah make us from amongst the tawabin, amongst those people who make tawbah when we say kullu ibn Adam khata wa khayru khata'in at-tawwabun. All of children of Adam make mistakes. This is the nature of human being. This is the nature of a human being. But the best of those who make mistakes are those who make tawbah. And this is what our ulama talk about. They say, is there a best amongst those who sin? Yes, those who make tawbah, they become the best amongst them. So may Allah make us like our father Adam alayhi salam. قَالَ رَبُّنَا ظَلَمْنَا أَنفُسَنَا. We wronged ourselves. And not amongst the people like Shaitan who blames God. Who blames God. We blame ourselves. And the moment you start blaming yourself and you ask, وَإِن لَمْ تَغْفِرْ لَنَا وَتَرْحَمْنَا لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. And if Allah doesn't forgive us and doesn't have mercy on us, then surely we are amongst the losers. And may Allah have mercy on all of us and forgive us. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالهدى بشيرا ونذيرا. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد طب القلوب ودوائها وعافية الأبدان وشفائها ونور الأبصار وضيائها وقوت الأرواح وغذائها وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: أرحم أمتي بأمتي أبي بكر، وأشدهم في أمر الله عمر، وأصدقهم حياء عثمان، وأقضاهم عليا، وفاطمة السيدة نساء أهل الجنة، وحمزة أسد الله وأسد الرسول، خير القرون قرني، ثم الذين يلونهم ثم الذين يلونهم. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروا لي أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون، وذكر الله أكبر. وأقيموا الصلاة